self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are Conversation Con Artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am trying to make sure that I eat all my vegetables.
Yes, we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. You can find me, Mr. On Point, at Instagram and Twitter. Mr. MISTER _on point.
And I, Calamity Red, can be found at red_calamity. Also, we are still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artists. And I promise I will get into why I'm trying to eat more vegetables.
Vegetables are delicious.
They are. Healthy.
Yeah, healthy for you.
Yeah.
So we got a letter.
Correct. Oh, yeah, we did.
From Colin.
Colin.
Only letter we got.
It is.
This week. Appreciate you, Colin, for sending us a letter.
We do.
We're going to talk about it. Hey, y'all. I haven't listened to the latest episode yet because I've been really busy and I didn't get a chance to write in, so I wanted to make sure I sent something before you record episode 171. Few things. I think someone tried to slide into my DMs on LinkedIn. Some backstory. We previously dated. She told me she didn't want to speak to me again and then sent me this message 5 years later after leaving me for another man and marrying him. Look at you, Microsoft. I sincerely hope you're super happy. What do you think? Number 2. I'm going to read the whole letter first.
Okay.
What were your thoughts on the State of the Union? I personally didn't watch it, so I've enjoyed gathering reactions from people who did watch it. 3. I definitely want to join the show. Depending on timing, there's actually a great podcast studio here in Seattle I can rent. Let me know. Happy to schedule some time there, but it's hourly, so depending on session recording time, we have to figure something else out. Still not opposed to buy my own microphone, too. I used to have a Yeti. That's it for now. I'll probably live right in when I finally listen to 172 or 171 at this point. Definitely don't schedule studio time. Yeah, get a microphone. I think that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
But
can I answer number 1?
Yeah, I was gonna get 3 out of the way.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We good.
I don't fuck with you. That would be my response to that. You little stupid ass bitch. I ain't fucking with you. What? She told you not to talk to her no more, and now she see your LinkedIn and see how well you do it, and now she want to say some shit. Fuck her.
So, and to give some context, Colin just got a job at Microsoft.
Fucking Microsoft.
And just moved to Seattle.
Microsoft.
And got life going the way life's supposed to be going. You know what I'm saying? So
she probably married some ain't shit nigga and now regretted all her life decisions and shit, and happy to see you on LinkedIn and see Microsoft and shit and like, oh shit, no bitch, no ma'am.
But maybe it's just a friendly acknowledgement of the success.
It just happened to come after he started working at Microsoft.
I'm just worried about the gap. I'm worried about the gap between I don't want to speak to you again and her initiating speaking to you again.
Because
it'll be different if you initiated the speaking to her and she kind of obliged but like for her to say I don't want to speak to you no more and then this to happen, like
Microsoft is the difference. Fuck her. I can't stand when people do that shit. Listen, anybody that I've talked to that I broke up with, I don't give a fuck. They could go and be on to be Bill Gates and shit. I'm not finna go running in behind them because of that shit. Because it's whatever it was that made her say she don't want to talk to you no more should be enough for her to not be out here chasing that or what. That's just weird that you would go from I don't want to talk to you to Microsoft, huh? And to mention that, she'd just say, hey, how have you been? It's like crazy seeing you. Microsoft, huh? Like, come on. No, bitch, no, ma'am. That's not how you do that.
I want to go get a janitor job at Microsoft just so I can say I work at Microsoft. I ain't gonna know what I do. And it won't be a lie.
You gonna have the same shit with people. Microsoft, huh?
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Then when you have, but yours gonna be different because when you like, I be cleaning the shit out of them floors at Microsoft. It might change.
What?
You said you want to be a janitor there,
I
so you
do.
can say that. But I'm saying once you tell her that you a janitor there, it might not be the same. Might not go the same. As
I'll make some shit up, man. I'll be like, I am the director of multi-level building resurfacing. You know? Like, they're gonna be like, oh shit, a director? Hell, fuck yeah, I'm a director. You know?
Oh Jesus, that is so terrible.
Like, she really gonna have to probe for me to be like, so, okay, I clean floors and shit, but I work at Microsoft. I get paid more than any nigga on the earth that clean floors. Well, I assume that would be Google. I really assume Google would pay more.
Probably than Microsoft, I would think.
Google probably pay more, and they probably got a big whirly-dirly ass slide that go from the fucking 30th floor all the way down. That's just for the janitor access. They could probably get off at any floor they want to just by going down the slide.
Yeah.
Shit would be amazing.
It would.
Until it malfunction.
Yeah. Or like a fire happening, you try to go down there,
And then the fucking 22nd floor slide done melted on your ass. You're gonna be sliding down and hot ass plastic gonna be on you. No, Google too smart. They wouldn't make that shit out of plastic.
No, they wouldn't. Because they would
It'll
know.
be plastic with some kind of reinforcement or something that is and flame retardant or some shit like that.
But fuck her, Colin. That's just I just don't like when people do that shit. Like, you made your life choices. Now, it's one thing, like I said, has she just been like, oh, look, because LinkedIn will do that. Like, I will get emails all the time of like people you may know on LinkedIn. And she had just been like, hey, it's been a long time. Like a regular fucking shit. Her mentioning Microsoft is what fucks with me. It just seems tacky.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. She just handed the dope beat with that message. She came back. I wonder how her life is going. Like, I wonder, do you ever wonder, like, a person you know fucked you over? Do you ever wonder if they, like, getting sexually abused somewhere by a Terry Crews looking ass motherfucker?
So Facebook has made it to where I have been able to see how a lot of my exes are doing just via Facebook, and them niggas ain't doing too well. Like, let's see who's doing well. I don't know. I think all of them. Like, even I had a boyfriend in high school who got this girl pregnant while we were together. And even before I got out of college, I found out that she it turned out to be a crackhead and he was raising their kids by himself.
Damn.
And so it's like, that's the bitch you wanted, though. That's what you wanted. That's
not what he wanted.
Well,
okay,
that's
he
what
didn't
you
put.
chose.
He didn't put on his dating profile. If you a crackhead hoe and want some kids, let me know. I'm really willing to take care of them kids by myself. He wanted whatever the image that she portrayed was.
She was
initially
a hood bitch. She was just a hood bitch from like whatever. Like, she was hood. So
every hood chick is a bad day away from being a crackhead. And dude, I mean, everybody in the hood is a bad day away from snorting a line or smoking a rock.
Yeah. No, I take it. The Air Force dude, the dude, I think his life is going pretty well. Like, but we didn't, it wasn't like a bad, we didn't break up on bad terms. So, but everybody that like did like fucked me over, their life is shit. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, none of them are on drugs, not like that extent of their life is shit, but shit just ain't going well. Like, the ones that cheated on me, the girl like with him and her turned out to be a crackhead. One of them took the child they had and married somebody with a lot of money and moved away with the kid, and he don't even get to see the kid. So like, none of it turned. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna sit up here and act like that is their karma for what they did to me. I like to think that it is, but realistically, I mean, this was gonna happen regardless of whether or not I was in the equation, cause these bitches wasn't shit. So even if I had never existed and they just met these women on their own, that's what the fuck would have happened. So like, it is what it is. But yeah, Facebook helps with you being able to kind of see where people are at. So yeah.
So this is the same as you.
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
kind of like lets you know what's going on. The only person I have no idea what's going on with them since the day I left my hometown was my very first girlfriend.
Was she old?
She was 23 while I was 16.
Okay, she was old.
And I was 17 years old when I was going to college. And I was on the road headed to Auburn University. And she sent me a message that was like, this ain't gonna work out.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew it wasn't gonna work out, but I was like, God damn, like what's going on? I was like, and the song that was playing on the radio was Boys to Me and Oh Well. Yeah, that's the song. Like now, every time I hear that song, it's like a flashback.
Yeah.
To me, headed to Auburn in my little truck, 87 Dodge Dakota.
Oh,
it was
music.
black. I had painted it black. It was brown. I painted it black. I was between the Wire Road exit and the goddamn Auburn University exit.
Music solidifies shit in your mind, man.
It do. It's crazy how the brain works.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I call that moment as such a significant moment, but you know, it was significant enough for that song to be what triggers that memory.
That's crazy. So you don't know what she doing?
No idea. I had forgot her name for some time, actually.
Block that shit
I
out.
thought her name was Elaine until one day I was like, her goddamn name was Ellen. She had a twin sister named Helen.
Where the hell did you get Elaine from then?
Elaine was a girl who dragged my ass along by a string while I was in at AUM. She dragged me along for some period of time. But she was never my girlfriend. As far as girlfriends, Auburn, my first girlfriend at Auburn, she is married to a woman now. So
okay,
living your best life.
Live your best life.
My next girlfriend wasn't a girlfriend. We could have been. You know, she's married to a dude that kind of looks like me. But I guess she got a type.
She got a type.
Big, bald-headed dude with a beard, dark skin. You know. My last girlfriend, she doing her thing. Hair salon, all that shit.
Oh, that's cool.
She balling. Nothing really went wrong in our relationship. We was just, it's like we were friends that were masquerading as boyfriend and girlfriend. We just, like, as far as emotionally and connection go, I don't think we ever reached the level of for real boyfriend and girlfriend. We were just really good friends.
That's always tough.
And so we just, you know, cut ties as far as that charade goes.
Oh, Tarvis is driving trucks.
Driving trucks.
Or he was driving trucks. I think he was trying to, like, he may not be driving them now. He wanted to like start a company for driving trucks, but after he went to prison, it's kind of.
How far does karma even reach? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing I don't like about karma. I don't even like the concept of karma. It's like something we don't know when it's coming.
Yeah.
We don't know what it's going to do when it comes. We don't know how long it's going to last.
That's why you just don't be fucking people over.
How do we know the shit that's happening to them is for our shit they did to us and not shit they did to somebody else?
True. You never know.
I don't like karma.
Well, and with Harvest, nothing really. I mean, he was an asshole. Like, but I'm an asshole. Like, our issue was we were way, way, way too much alike in personality. Like, way too much alike to where we drove each other fucking crazy. Because it was just kind of this situation where we was just always trying to one up each other, like verbally, just constantly sarcastic. It was too much. Really, it really was. Because I could never just be relaxed because I always felt like I had to be on guard because I knew this nigga was going to say something. And he knew I was going to, like, it just, we were just not good. Like, on paper, we would have been, but like in practice, that shit was garbage. bitch. And then he went to prison, and so that just kind of took care of that, because then after he got out, I'm gonna be honest, and this is probably really, really terrible, okay? And I know it is. But like, he was in prison for a really long time. And I don't know what happened while he was I don't know what happened while he was in there. And I couldn't look at him the same.
Just because you don't know.
And I'm not gonna ask, because even if something happened, he's not gonna tell me the truth, because he's
might.
like, he this super you know Tarvis, you met him, he this super macho ass nigga. Like, he not gonna tell me if anything actually happened. Like, he just wouldn't do that. So I couldn't deal with that. Just couldn't deal with it. And I didn't know what he was gonna do, because he was in the military at the time he went. So I'm like, you done went and got this fucking record now. Like, I don't know what you finna do livelihood wise. I mean, I ain't finna take care. So like, he had a lot of life shit to figure out after he got out, you know. So
He might like being pegged now.
And that's not something I can help him with.
You could.
I know I can't. No,
Why
no.
not?
What the fuck? No. No. In my mind, that's just emasculating. Just this. I can't do it. Sorry. It's weird. I don't like it. If you do that, that's, you know, good for you. And you find you a woman that is willing to peg the shit out of you, please do. But it just ain't red. I'm not pegging nobody. That's weird. That's not in my bag of kink. My bag of kink is small, first of all.
I don't think you have one.
I have a little bag of kink.
Don't believe it.
I don't. The same way that
I don't even want to know, but I don't believe it. I don't even want evidence to the contrary. I just don't believe it. Don't care.
It's the same way about the twerking. Me doing my back. I've had. Oh God! You know what? That's good though.
So you be in the mirror twerking.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm doing my hair. Girl, all women do that.
I'm just saying.
I feel like
I know you took the stripper pole class.
I did take the I have a
Let me
stripper
say pole dancing.
Pole
Let's not say stripper
dancing,
pole.
'cause
Let's be
pole dancing class.
politically correct for the strippers.
I have a stripper pole still. I don't have it up because I don't really use it. So there was just really no point in me installing it, and it was a bitch. It's a bitch to install, so I just didn't bother. But I still have it. So, you know, I guess when I move this year, I might be able to reinstall
It's time to go ahead and install it now. Your weight is different than when you took that class. You need to see what your moves look like.
It really needs to be secure now that my weight is different, because I get to swinging on that shit and everything just fall. It's worse. It's worse now actually that I've gained the weight, because that means it really needs to be secure. When I was lighter, you know, it was less likely that I was gonna, you know, pull it down. But now 60 pounds more, I might me and the pole go down. I can't deal with that. But you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with my kink level look appearing to be non-existent. I guess that's better than niggas being like, Red is a freak ass bitch.
It's only one person that you want to be that way anyway.
Yeah.
And if he betray you and tell other people, then
he gotta die.
You got bigger problems.
Yeah, true. So I'm okay with that. It's just funny. The twerk thing was really funny. Because I get that I don't know what people I guess because I don't know. I guess I put off, I don't know what it is. But I danced my ass off, used to.
What if the dude that you come to love and grow, he never want to be pegged or nothing like that, but every now and then he do stuff like be twerking like hey look girl, and just start twerking. Like it don't translate to nothing else. He just do little stuff like that.
I mean, I'm going to assume that this means that I fall in love with a goofy ass nigga who do goofy shit other than that. If he do other goofy shit, then
it ain't worth a conversation. It ain't something like, listen, this twerking shit you be doing.
Is he doing it?
I don't want to see it.
Is he doing it in front of other people?
No. He ain't
just
doing
what
it.
I mean,
but it's like he practicing and he good at it.
Yeah, no, that's weird, nigga. No, that's weird.
But what is it though? What is that? Is that a conversation that leads to the end of this, or is that a conversation that don't do that shit?
I wouldn't break up with it, but I'd just be like, "The fuck is you twerking for, my nigga? Stop doing that. It's weird."
Yeah, you're gonna have to start roasting them.
Yeah,
that's the black universal language of stopping shit. Just roast them.
Basically, yeah. So that's what it would have to be. Like I would just roast his ass until he stopped doing it. But that wouldn't be enough for me to break up with him. Pegging, I can't. I'm sorry.
I feel like you
weird.
could do some shit, like some embarrassing shit, like reverse psychology type shit. Like pull out your phone and be like, if you don't do it for Snapchat, you don't do it for me. I tell you right now.
You want your homeboys that you do your fantasy football
The only
league
way you can
to
do
see
this shit
shit
is you do it for everybody. If you just doing this shit for me, it's a
I
wrap.
don't want it. I don't need it. It's weird. No thanks. No thanks. But yeah, Colin, it's she saw that Microsoft. I completely 100% believe she saw Microsoft and was like, oh shit.
What did she think? But what would she think she could get out of it though? You know what I mean?
Look, it's some scandalous bitch. Like the same way I think it's some niggas out here that ain't shit. It is some scandalous bitches out here, and there are women who would see an opportunity to elevate in life by, attaching to somebody new. As bitches that'll leave their husband for somebody that's got more money. There are women that would do that, and I don't know this lady, so I don't know that she's one of those people. But it's women like that. So she might think she could. We got a history. I could just slide on back in there with Colin.
Listen, it's a lot of women out here that is one bad marriage and one bad day away from sucking somebody's meat. Okay, I'm just saying, I'm somebody else's. I'm just like they are one. Like first off, the relationship already messed up. Okay, clearly, I left you. I chose this guy. He's sorry. He don't wash his drawers. It's like he ain't clean. He don't watch the kids. He ain't motivated. He ain't got goals. That woman is one good smelling ass man away from pulling some drawers down. So we don't even know her situation.
We don't know her situation. But that's what I was saying.
I like to believe that a woman who ain't close don't even think about sending people like
I wouldn't
Colin a DM.
If I was married and happily married, even if I saw that shit, especially if we hadn't talked since that day, however long ago, I'd have just been like, good for him, and kept it fucking moving. I would never have contacted him because what am I contacting him for? We don't need to have no contact. Like, I see you doing good for you. That's it. We don't need to have a conversation. So even her contacting him, and like I said, my issue is that she mentioned Microsoft specifically, just rude. If she had just been like, hey, it's crazy seeing you on here, but her mentioning where he work at just sit with me wrong.
But she could have done that. She could have been doing that for the long ride. She could have been saying, just checking on you, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
And just soon as Microsoft pop up, came back on the radar, bloop, like the little blip. Would it be like they on the radar, the little green, old ass radar with a little dot show up? Yeah, as soon as that Microsoft popped up.
Like, wait a minute, Microsoft.
She planting seeds.
Don't fall for it, Colin.
Don't fall for it, Colin. I don't know. If she was the most amazing thing ever.
You still be with her.
And she would leave her husband and come back. Don't fall for it, man.
No. And I always
superficial.
People always ask about how people end up, going back into relationships that were terrible. The further you get away from a relationship, I feel like the less you remember the bad shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the further out you get from not being with that person no more, we start reminiscing on the good shit, not realizing that nigga was snatching you up every time he saw you, thought you was looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't remember that stuff. The further you get away, we start romanticizing people, and it's like, y'all broke up for a reason. Like, there was something going on, and I feel like we just kind of only focus on the good the further. So as the years go by, it's kind of like, well, he was, we had such good times together and shit. Then you get back with him, and the first time he snatch you up, it's like, oh yeah, this why. Mm-hmm. Now I remember why we weren't together, and I remember why I had to get a restraining order against that nigga. It's like all of this shit come back to you now. But that's just, I hate that shit. That's foul. I don't like when people do shit like that. Like, if I see somebody that I knew that was doing good, if I'm in a situation like with my husband, I just wouldn't. I feel like that would be disrespectful to my husband. I ain't finna do that. I ain't finna contact no nigga I used to talk to.
I have a zero tolerance policy for people coming back into my life. Zero. If we at some point decided to not interact, or you decided not to interact with me, or I decided to not interact with you, then
that's it.
You left me to the rest of the pool of the people in the world. Why the fuck I'm going back to you for? Why? It don't make sense to me why people go back. There are so many other options.
I just think that, again, the further out people get, they start romanticizing, especially if you out here having trouble with new niggas or with new women. It's like, well, yeah, but man, Shanice, man, you remember Shanice, man? We could have made that work. Then your homeboys have to be like, Shanice was a hoe, nigga. Shanice was fucking everybody today, but y'all remember that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
man, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. She wasn't no hoe. It's easy. It's hard from the inside looking out. It's easy from the outside looking in.
It absolutely is. And I just no backsies. And the way that my psyche is set up anyway, once we are not together no more, I don't give a fuck about you. Like I literally can't. I can't. Like
it's
it
like
don't work.
When I saw that, now that you're saying this, it's like, you seen the episode of Black Mirror where the mama could turn off the dangerous stuff that they child could see and it would just all be blurry.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how your exes is in the relationship. Like, you can't even see them hoes.
Nope.
Like, they be,
just
your
blurred.
brain done cut their ass off. They don't even ain't the same no more.
No. And I mean, I tell people this, and like, I think dudes think women be like, oh yeah, you know, she just saying it trying to like act like she tough. Like, no, nigga, this is literally like when I say I have a little devil and a big devil, that shit is true. Or when you said that was very accurate. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the more accurate descriptions of my personality. But the same thing where if we break up, and it's not like I do go through a period of being hurt, but once I ain't hurt no more, fuck you. Like, and don't come back, because it's not going. I'm gonna pay you all kind of dust. You're gonna be so angry.
She gonna pull that mask off like Scorpion on your ass and flame you, boy, burn you to death from your feet up.
Real upset. So it ain't even worth coming back. Like, once this over with and you didn't gave me enough time to get over it, I can't go back. Like, emotionally, I disconnect completely, which I'm sure is a defense mechanism. But fuck you. If you hadn't fucked up, then it'd be all right. I don't feel bad about it. It is what it is.
Zero tolerance policy. Mm-mm. I'm out here for everybody else now. You messed up. And maybe you didn't mess up. You know, maybe you saved yourself. I don't fucking know. Maybe you went to a fucking fortune teller and they told you some bullshit about me that was not accurate, because, I mean, it's a fucking fortune teller.
Oh, my God.
But, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Don't fall for it, Colin.
Don't fall for it.
On to number 2. What were your thoughts on the State of the Union? I personally didn't watch it, so I've enjoyed gathering reactions from people who did watch it.
I'm in the same boat as you, Colin, because I knew it was going to be bullshit. The only thing I can say about it is my very favorite thing that came from it is the picture of Nancy Pelosi doing that little petty ass clap. Only thing that I gave a shit about from that. I love that picture. It's hilarious.
The State of the Union was garbage. The State of the Union is supposed to be an opportunity for the president to address the nation and build up some hope and build up some credibility for himself. That's what it's supposed to be. And if you're a charismatic speaker, if you have a speech well written, and if you don't have any of your own secret agendas, you can accomplish that pretty much. This State of the Union just seemed to be a whole bunch of one-liners. And a whole bunch of them was intended to speak this on the same points. The wall, the Mueller investigation, all this shit. That's all it sought to do. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but the beginning of it started off where he was like, the only way we can move forward is as a union. There's no time for all this pettiness, based on paraphrasing. We need to work together. All to come back and say, but we can't work together if y'all investigate me, motherfuckers. Or the Democrats, they keep doing this. Like he said, we all need to work together. We need to stop being mean to each other, and then start talking about individualized shit, partisan shit, and talking about people.
Did he say something about an abortion pill that lets you abort a baby at birth?
Yeah.
Which is not true.
Do you know all of that's been going on in Virginia? It got something to do with Robert Northam, the blackface senator. So, Cuomo, the governor in New York, and in Virginia, they're looking at some type of certain abortion laws that really imply the health of the woman. But the one in Virginia was about the way the law was written. The hearing that they had exposed the problems in how the law was written, because the law was written that in the third trimester of a child's birth or of a pregnancy, child's development, if it turns out that there would be significant harm to the mother, the doctor, not just one doctor, but 3 doctors, would be able to have a final say as to whether they will terminate the pregnancy, depending on the level of health. What?
The doctors will be able to have the final say?
Along with the mother.
Oh, okay.
The well, no. I think now it's 3 doctors. I think they was trying to change it to 1 doctor and the mother that could have the say on whether they can terminate the pregnancy, depending on the level of health risks to the mom. Well, it didn't. The law was written very vaguely, and so they were trying to consider what would be identified as health issues, and the law don't say that it can't be issues with the baby, like fetal alcohol syndrome or Down syndrome. And so they were asking, so by the way your law is written, if a child had Down syndrome or this or that or this or that, then or just other disorders that you can detect, while pregnant, and the law don't say you can't. And so they was just pointing out that, and he was like, well, it doesn't say that those are restricted, but and then they were like, okay, whatever, like they do in them hearings. Then the next question was, it also doesn't say at what point this legislation stops a doctor and a mother from being able to make this decision. So if the child was being born right now, and it was determined at that moment that a mother's health was at jeopardy, could they terminate the pregnancy at that moment? And he was like, no, based off of how the legislation was written, there is no time limit. So technically, the way that hearing was, it was really to discredit how it was written, and it just created a whole talking point for Republicans, saying that Democrats are advocating for infanticide because that legislation and how it was written didn't stop at a certain point of when that termination could happen for the pregnancy. So that's where that came from. And it's everywhere now. Like this infanticide is just a new word that Republicans are now using for this situation. Just because when one Democrat give a little window of something, this is what happens. But the Virginia governor is the one who was a big part of this dialogue. Yeah. And right after this dialogue is when that yearbook picture came up. It wouldn't surprise me if that was connected. Some right-wing right-wingers just went deep into his past to look for some shit to really mess him up because of that. Yeah. But that's where that dialogue that Donald Trump had came from. The thing I hate about those things is that they parade around all these people. Like Alice Walker was there, the woman he pardoned. He pardoned another man who was in jail for 30-something years, and they did an interview with him afterwards, and he was like, "This was better than the day that I got out of prison." Like he got out of prison, it was enjoyable, but like for people to be looking at him and clapping for him, I do imagine
I can see that.
I do imagine that it was a better. I just hate Trump take these opportunities to try to make it look like he's doing something for the black community. And you know what? Credit where credit is due, even if it's 0.01%. He did something for some black individuals.
He did.
But the shit that he has done against the black community in his history, and the shit that he is doing to overturn shit that has helped the black community now, that credit is really overshadowed by the fuckery.
Yep.
And so,
as is much with him.
Van Jones said that this was a psychotically incoherent State of the Union because he went back and forth on points. He didn't have a main objective. It was a whole bunch of talking one-liners. And that's what it looked like. I watched about 30 minutes of it, then gave it up.
I didn't even bother because I knew it was going to be
It just didn't.
shit.
First off, I'm just tired of hearing him talk at this point.
Yeah. I
I really don't like hearing his voice. And I swear to God, if I hear somebody in my regular life that sound like Trump or talk like Trump, I don't know what fuck gonna happen. But I just didn't. It was just, I didn't like it. I'm over listening to that, man. I'm right now just focusing on what all of these other candidates have and how we're going to choose somebody that can actually compete with him. And at this point, my thing is as Democrats, we want somebody that's perfect. We want a candidate that's so fucking perfect.
Yep.
Okay, Kamala Harris, your history with criminalizing black people have canceled you. Even though we don't really know what you stand for, what you seek to achieve, what you do, if you grew from that or if anything's different. Okay, Cory Booker, we never were really looking at you anyway, for whatever reason. So
Is he the one that everybody thinks is gay?
yeah,
And he got a girlfriend or
He got a
something,
girlfriend
and people
now.
was like, okay, Corey.
yeah, he got a girlfriend now. Just because he's never had a woman at his side.
Well, but some people
As
think
the governor of New Jersey,
his mannerisms, I don't know.
I
don't know a lot about Cory Booker.
I don't see his mannerisms as gay, but he came on to the Breakfast Club and, Charlamagne got down to brass tacks. What is your plan for the black community? And people are criticizing him because he didn't have a plan for the black community. And I'm like, y'all are really trying to... Do y'all remember where we live? We live in white man's America. What do you want him to do? Put a fucking black power fist pick in his hair?
He will not get
Put on a fucking dashiki? Crip walk around the goddamn Breakfast Club and say, I'm helping all the niggas. He will not. That's not how this shit work.
It's not how politics works.
This
Not
is
in
a
America.
This is a situation where the plan is to infiltrate from the outside and then do something. And you're not going to be able to do a lot. But hopefully you can have somebody pick up where you left off. Imagine if we had supported Hillary Clinton. Maybe she wouldn't have done what we need the black community to do, but Donald Trump is doing fucking reverse work. He is backtracking that shit. So somebody can't even pick up where Barack Obama left off. They got to start back over from Donald Trump's bullshit ass scratch. And I'm not saying that Democrats are the best party. I'm saying that Democrats, if they want to continue to be in power, still have to answer to us. And what they want is power. And the way that they keep that power is answering to us. And we got to get out of this. We need a perfect fucking candidate because the other side will literally choose somebody with a fucking pulse and that can check yes or no in a fucking box. They don't have standards. All the Republican Party need is a motherfucker that come out there and say, hey, pro-life, tax breaks, and wall. And he could be the president. But motherfuckers mad because Hillary Clinton said she keep a hot sauce bottle in her purse. Yes, it was pandering. But you can't tell me that Hillary Clinton would have been worse for the black community than Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck what you believe. That I don't believe that shit. I feel like if you believe that, you are disillusioned. Because Donald Trump is doing reverse work for the black community. Fucking Jeff Sessions' Department of Justice was reversing all of the Obama era shit that was supposed to be protections for people that were being treated unjustly. But I do think Cory Booker answered that question correctly. He said that the shit I focus on is education. And when you look at education and the disproportionate ways that black people are impacted, if you fix education, you automatically fix a situation for black people. It's about making the shit more fair for the people. When you look at the justice system in prison, If you fix that system that disproportionately impacts African American people, if you start working on that system, you're already gonna start making life better for black people. They want Cory Booker to walk to the goddamn jail and take all the black people out and be like, look what I did for the black people. That ain't how the shit's going to work. I just need people to understand that. But I'm just looking forward to this whole political season where we find out who the candidates are. And if you want to know, based on what you believe, who your candidate you should be with, is go to this website called isidewith.com. It puts all the issues up on the page, and you get to choose. And out of all the candidates that have come out, it puts a list of how closely tied you are with those people based on what you fucking believe, okay? That should be everybody's starting point. We shouldn't be looking at these candidates and saying, oh, all these little things that ain't got shit to do with politics is why I won't vote for this person or why I don't like this person. Go to isidewith.com, vote on all your positions that you have and see who it puts you closely to, and then start researching that person's positions. The person they put up there for me is Julian Castro. I don't really know much about him.
Castro was an unfortunate last
Shit,
name.
Obama is a fortunate last name. Barack Hussein Obama? Come the fuck on. Julian Castro is not worse than Barack Hussein Obama. I don't give a fuck.
It's not, but it's still unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but I have to research his policies now. You know? Because you know what? I'll be okay with a Latino president, goddamn. Or whatever he is. I assume, well, Latino. I don't know what direct culture. Maybe Cuban. With the name Castro. But I would be perfectly fine with that president. We got an opportunity to have a black president, and so black people can see that a black man can become president. I'd like for that to be for Latino. I'd like for that to be for women. I'd rather have a diverse somebody from an oppressed group in the White House. But that's it. I answered number 3. For Colin.
Okay. If you have a question you would like for us to answer on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartist@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, Conversation Con Artist, and send it to us that way. Now, I wasn't gonna this wasn't even on my radar, but On Point started playing this video right before we started recording. So, Umar Johnson, and you have to know who he is by this point, but so I saw this week where what is it called? The website where you give people money.
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe is refunding all the money that has been donated to him for this school. So a video. When did he post that video? He posted a video weirdly saying how he done found a building for his school, and he was going through all of the sciences that will be taught at this school, one of which is dietary sciences. And he was talking about how important it was for the kids to not only, grow their own food, but make sure that they are eating the proper vegetables. Instead of vegetables. The whole thing sounded weird, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but On Point pointed out that he wasn't looking at the camera. So apparently he was reading this whole speech, and it came off very disingenuous. It came off like he was code switching. Like, it seemed like it was so weird. He had this suit on. The whole video was weird.
He didn't sound different to me.
He sounded different to me. I guess because I'm used to him yelling.
He wasn't speaking off the cuff.
Yeah, maybe
he was reading papers. And I wonder if he really don't know how to say vegetables, or if it was like spelled wrong on the shit he was reading. Like, did it say vegetables on the damn paper?
And it was obvious. Like, when he said it, we both caught it. Like, because it was an obvious. Like, it wasn't like where he barely misspoke. Like, no, it was very apparent that this was. No, and we didn't watch the whole thing. I don't even know how long the whole video was.
It was like 28 minutes.
Oh, hell no.
If you don't know who Umar Johnson is, he is the prince of Pan-Africanism. I don't even know what Pan-Africanism is, but I don't know. He considers himself a school psychologist, and People have to go back and look at his degree.
How
but
do you consider yourself that? Either you are or you're not. He is not. He doesn't have a degree.
Saying he considered himself a school psychologist because he go straight onto the Breakfast Club and other platforms and say things that my profession don't agree with. You know, he act like all boys that are homosexual have been touched when they was little. Like, that's not. Where's your evidence? Where's your evidence for that? Like, he said a whole bunch of shit that don't.
Inflammatory stuff.
Like, these kids just need whoopings and shit. Like, you advocating for abuse potentially? You know, everybody don't.
This is an
He didn't say
all-boys
discipline.
school that he was
It's the
proposing.
Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. In which they're just supposed to be teaching little young boys a lot. I just don't see it really working out.
No.
Because...
And given his viewpoints, anybody that was taught at that school would not come out being a good member of society.
I mean, legally,
productive.
it's so much shit you're supposed to learn and teach if you own a school.
None of that. Well, I didn't hear all of the sciences, but none of what I heard was any of the shit that you have to learn to get a high school diploma in America. So, that shit. If you could find the video, I mean, even just the first bit of it is so crazy. And I was looking at it from a distance, but apparently his suit was bothering on point.
It was a cheap ass suit. He done stole enough money to be able to buy a good ass suit for that damn video. It's one of them suits that was like when the light hit it kind of shiny in some points. That is a cheap suit, y'all. The way that the light hit a well tailored quality suit is different than the way it hit a cheap suit. I'm telling you, go to Walmart and pull out your flashlight on your phone and shine it on a motherfucking suit jacket. Or Target. Sign it on the suit jacket and see what that shit look like. Then go to Men's Warehouse and ask them where their expensive ass suits is and shine your light on it. It's like the good ass suits just absorb light. Like, what the fuck happened to the light? With a good ass expensive ass suit. It's just different. That suit was cheap. He done stole more than enough money. Be able to get him some.
And
he can
the
go to
building
one or two of his stripper
around.
girlfriends. And, get some money from them.
The building did not look like a legit purchase that he was walking around in. It was just a weird. The whole way that it was directed was weird. The video was just
First
weird.
off, it was a building that it looked like they just acquired. I mean, it looked like the people moved out of it just yesterday. Like, you think that he would take some time to take some money to set the shit up first and then do the video. But that's a decision they made. And I'm trying to think, if this was me, would I want people to see this brand new ass, still barely cleaned up and unorganized building? I mean, no, like slots on the doors where clearly were names that ain't there, chairs pushed over in the corner. Would I want somebody to see this fresh, empty ass building that I'm gonna turn to a school? Or if I'm actually going to turn it to a school, what I want it to look like a school. And what I want it to look like I'm walking in the classroom and walking to what my image of it's going to be.
What?
Man, I feel like I would have bought all of the logos and put them on the doors and put them on the walls. I feel like he should have done like we didn't see LeBron James' school before they had all those shoes and shit on the wall.
Nope, we did not.
We didn't see LeBron James' school before it had a logo and all of the verbiage on it for the logo or the motto or whatever they have. And he walked into an empty ass building like that. Literally could have been anywhere that he paid somebody to open the door to. I just want to know that it's actually a school that he's trying to do something with.
Such a big deal in the beginning about how they traveled all over looking for the perfect building, and then this is what you show. I think that he saw that GoFundMe was refunding all these people money. He was like, oh shit, I got to do something so that I can get them. Because GoFundMe refunding the money don't mean he can't get it from these people in another way. So to get these people to reinvest the money, I feel like he did this tour of this school to say, hey, look, it's happening. We're this much closer to this being and coming to fruition. That's what I think it is, why he rushed it the way that he did. I think because yes, GoFundMe can refund the money, but if people are stupid enough and decide that they want to re-give it to him through another avenue, they can. So I think this was to encourage people to redonate the money through another funding system, since GoFundMe refunded it. Apparently they're investigating him. I don't know what the fuck, why, who knows with him, but yeah, that video, that wasn't even on my radar, but that video was just hearing him say vegetables.
Ridiculous.
So terrible. So that was my.
All right, so I want to talk about something from last week. I went pretty hard on the Virginia governor last week, and I want y'all to know that I'm the kind of person that I'm always constantly looking for new ways to understand the world, new ways to understand titles and topics. I mean, even if I go back to some of the things that I've written and some of the old videos I've recorded, while what I believe is, rooted in the same ideals, it changes ever so gently. And last week, I was going hard on the blackface governor about, just him needing to step down and it being over. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about how, so you got the Virginia governor, Robert Northam. Mm-hmm. He's the first in command. If he would have stepped down, the second in command is, I think, Justin Fairfax, maybe. He has some sexual abuse allegations against him. So if he were to step down from going to potential governor, if Robert Northam stepped down, the AG would be the third person, which the AG admittedly came out and said he got some blackface pictures when he was in school. So like, motherfucking crumbling, and the attorney general, he came out with this whole speech that basically said, hey, back when I was young, me and my group did some fucked up shit. We were not very culturally aware, and we used blackface. I didn't know at the time that it was wrong. I've grown to realize that it was very problematic, very insensitive, and something I shouldn't have done. But more so, it represents an issue with my, understanding of cultural awareness. And he ended by saying, furthermore, the people of Virginia don't deserve somebody who didn't do that. But, I work towards whatever it takes to build those relationships back up or whatever. And, just because he came out, got ahead of it, spoke to the issues of it, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like he should step down. And so, but that contrasts with what I was saying about Robert Northam, because I was saying it don't fucking matter. He need to step down. I do think that there has to be a road to retribution for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I think it sets a bad precedent if we don't give people an opportunity to have a retribution for the shit that they do. Because my next story is going to go into a little bit more detail about this context. But I do think that people need a road to retribution. So I did go hard on the governor, but I do want an understanding of what he believes that he's done for brown communities in order for people like me to say, you know what, he might have learned his lesson, or that was some young ass immature shit, or it was a symptom of the times more so than a diagnosis of the person. Or maybe it was a diagnosis of the person and the person has changed. So I'm starting to look at some of these things and trying to see what the road to retribution is. Now, that's with somebody, for example, who is a Democratic governor, who a lot of the policies that Democrats implement are to help brown communities. That's why this same dialogue don't work for Donald Trump, because his road to retribution, he's still in the motherfucking middle of a path of doing shit that adversely impacts brown communities. Mm-hmm. He's in the middle of that shit. Jeff Sessions, a lot of Republicans, Steve King, he is in a direct path of implementing policies that don't directly help African Americans. Republican platform, let me just highlight this. The Republican platform for black people is not for black people. It's just things that they believe will inadvertently help black people if they do it. For example, they believe that taking away social programs and welfare and things will inadvertently help black people because it will force them to have to go find work. It will force them to have to go figure out how to live. They don't take into consideration that it may do reverse work and send a whole bunch of black people into like third world levels of poverty versus the regular ass, still fuck boy ass poverty that they're in now. Democrats, while they don't have the answers, they are actually trying to create policies to help the oppressed people. Some of them just don't work. Some of them just ain't right. We don't have a one size fits all for the shit. It varies from state to state because every state got their own issues too. That's why, because people be like, well, Democrats look at Democrats and give them a pass for their own racism. But when you look at Republicans, you're ready to condemn them. When Republicans start having plans for brown people to get some kind of, leverage in America, we'll be good. Mm-hmm. I'll be okay. I will start talking about that road to redemption based off of what your current actions are. The only way there is a road to redemption is if you're not the same dickhole you was before. It's the same thing for an ex-mate. If your mate has changed, if the person that you used to know was the most horrible, most offensive, most horrendous person you ever met, they can't be that same person and expect forgiveness from you. They have to be a different person in order to get forgiveness. They have to have grown. If a Republican don't show that their understanding of brown communities has grown, you're not on the road to redemption. You're still in the same shit that we're criticizing you for. But but Democrats, because their target is usually to help those oppressed communities, they've at least shown that they are willing to do work to reverse what that shit was that we are criticizing them for. So this is kind of my constantly evolving way of looking at this situation right now. Now, I'm going to go into my next story because of it being connected to this one right here.
Okay.
Liam Neeson's. Have you ever seen the Key and Peele skit?
Probably. I watched everything.
Liam Neeson's and Bruce Willis, the two dudes that was sitting outside of the movie theater. So it was Key and Peele. They outside of the movie theater, just helping people in their cars and shit.
Oh, okay.
And they start talking about movies that they like.
Yeah.
And they be like, they just kept saying Liam Neeson's and Bruce Willis. They just was fucking up the names, but it was funny. But Liam Neeson had an interview this week. He got a new movie coming out. I don't know what the fucking movie about.
Me either.
And he basically admitted that when he was young, he would walk around fucking wherever he lived in, England somewhere, I guess, Britain, England somewhere, because he called a knife that he had something else, like a shiv, a shav, a shove, or something like that, waiting for a black person so that he could kill him because he had a friend that got raped by a black person. And so he was just walking the streets waiting to get vigilante justice on a random black person because of something a specific black person did. And oh my goodness, goddamn, Liam Neeson's got all of the fucking criticism that you can get from a situation like this. And the reason that it connects to the last situation is because we're talking about that road to retribution. I honestly don't have a problem with Liam Neeson, with his age, with his career, with his growth, acknowledging today the bullshit that he was participating in. And that's a part of why I respected the AG coming out on his own and saying, I got pictures too.
Yeah.
I dressed up in blackface. And we might not even know where them pictures at. They might not even come out.
Yeah.
But he took that initiative. And we have to be honest with ourselves as a community, black community. We got to be honest with ourselves. If we want white people to talk and have a conversation about race, we have to accept that a lot of them are going to say a whole shitload of fuckery that we're not going to accept. in order to move forward in the dialogue. If we take what they say and shun the fuck out of them, all they gonna do is hire PR firms to hide all their blackface pictures. They gonna keep all of their stories of racism in their brains out of the public eye. They're going to make sure that anything that they can have in this conversation that indicates that or that what black people would look at and run with and just mark him as a racist, then we won't be able to have a dialogue that we say that we want. We have to give them an opportunity to talk about what that road to retribution looks like. I wish Liam Neeson would have had a conversation from that about, you know, how his views on brown people have changed and black people have changed and how it's different. That goes into Michelle Rodriguez saying that he can't be racist because
he roasted the shit out of her.
He kissed a black woman on a movie. Okay. He can't be racist.
Oh, Michelle.
So, but I do want to talk about my last thing because I've been talking for a long time. But the last thing I want to mention about this whole situation is that white people have put all brown people under a microscope, and not as individuals. They put black people under a microscope as black people.
Yep.
They put Latino people under a microscope as Latino people. They put Asian people under a microscope as Asian people. But we don't do that for white people. We don't look at, I mean, we've never, because we don't have the power, we couldn't do that. Like, white people could, like, literally group all black people in a category and put it on paper somewhere. We haven't had that power to define it in that term. So I think white people look at us as groups and they look at themselves as individuals. And because they look at us as a group, they can see me do something and they can try to take it out on a black person over there. Or they can see a couple of black people doing something and attribute that to every single black person because they always look at us as a group. To us as African Americans, our experience is a collective experience. And to white people that look at us, our experience is a collective experience. But to white people, their experience is an individualized one. And that's how I think that a white person, because they get to think of themselves as an individual, a white person who don't believe they're racist can do shit like wear blackface. Or dress like a Native American on Halloween and believe that they're not racist and believe that what they're doing is not racist because they inherently don't believe that they're racist. So they don't believe anything that they could do involving race could be racist. But that's why I'm learning that we have to look at, I'm moving to say that we need to look at things as, and I might have said this before, as impact versus intent. I don't care how well-intentioned you are for anything. Look at the impact that thing does. Because intentions don't change impact. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't intend to, if Dick Cheney didn't intend to shoot old boy when he shot him, it didn't take them bullets out his ass.
It did not.
If we start looking at the way that we deal with other cultures as how we may impact them versus our intended measures of not impacting them, we can actually fucking move somewhere in this fucking stupid ass dialogue that we have. But I've been talking for a long time, so that's it.
Well, speaking about blackface, all you Gucci gang members might be in a little bit of trouble.
First off, listen.
Gucci gang.
I want to know which of y'all who are listening to this show, because I really feel like if you listen to this show, I feel like if you listen to the Conversation Con Artists, I feel like you eat bologna sandwiches. I feel like you drink red Kool-Aid. I feel like you use Lawry's seasoning salt. I feel like you might have walked barefooted outside sometimes. Like, I don't feel like we got a Gucci crowd listening. So if you wear Gucci, please let me know. And I don't mean like you're a woman that got a Gucci, not one nice Gucci bag, maybe two, you know, that you done kept over the last 10 years. Hey, I like that. I'm just saying I don't feel like we have a crowd that is gonna have a closet full of Gucci. Probably and not. That this dialogue is gonna deeply impact them. Probably I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think so. So this week Gucci came under fire or last week, they had a new sweater release, but it's supposed to be balaclava. Is that how you?
I don't know.
It basically, the shit that ninjas have on their head, it's supposed to mimic that. It's Balaclava. Balaclava.
I said balaclava.
But that is not, that's the Greek dish.
No, I'm saying this exactly how it's spelled. Balaclava.
Balaclava. Okay. Balaclava. Anyway.
Not what's the other one?
Baklava.
Baklava, yeah. That's what you're talking about.
So look up balaclava. I spelled it for you. Don't listen to my pronunciation. Spell it and then Google it. And you'll see what it was supposed to be. Then when you go look at the Gucci one, the Gucci one does not come all the way over your head. And the Gucci one where the mouthpiece is, they put red lips. Okay. And so, of course, this goes back into like pickaninnies and all of the blackface and people making. And so people got upset. And Gucci, of course, we're all about diversity and we would never intentionally blah, 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 blah. And so everybody has been in Gucci's ass this week. T.I. has called for, of course, we do boycotts because that's what we do.
That's T.I. That's T.I., y'all. He wears Gucci, apparently, okay?
Yes.
Soldier Boy been running around with his Gucci headband on. He said he called for a boycott too.
Yeah, he gonna finally get rid of that stretched out ass Gucci. That probably was
the video. He had something else on his head.
Yeah,
I was like, where the hell is Gucci shit at? Cause I didn't know what the hell was going on with Gucci.
If you look at it, and then they had a white girl, the skinniest, palest, most whitest white girl possible, modeling this sweater with the red lips around it. Now, if you don't know why this is offensive, also go look up pickaninny.
I just don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, nobody sat around the table at Gucci and said, hey, we need a new design. What you want to do design based off? What about a balaclava? Let's do one of those. First off, everybody said, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, because I didn't know.
Wait a minute. Y'all uncultured ass motherfuckers don't know. Okay, the fucking things ninjas put around their head. Oh, have you seen Three Ninjas Kick Back? Three Ninjas Kick Back? Yeah, with the little white boys. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, we seen that. The things that the boys had over their head. Okay. What about the Foot Clan from Ninja Turtles? You remember them? That's what it is. Okay, so we know what it is now. Let's do those. Well, we can do one of those, but how about we actually create a design that subtly attacks black people that they don't know? Let's make it after picking it. Like, they didn't do that. They didn't sit in that meeting and say, let's be racist as fuck.
I don't think they did.
I don't know. Look, I don't know what led them to creating what they created.
You just said intent and impact, though. This is exactly
No, I'm
that.
saying, I know. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But we talking about a corporation that they don't know about it. They don't know, but people are acting like they just got sat in a room and said, hey, let's make fun of niggas. That's how people are treating the shit.
And that's not what, I don't think that's what it is, but it's kind of like that situation of somebody wearing a Native American costume on Halloween. It's like, that might not have been your intention, bitch, but it doesn't make it any less racist. Like, you should not be making fun of an entire culture.
I agree, but we got like the only point I'm making is that we just have to be more realistic about how they came to this point.
Oh, well,
okay, y'all inadvertently and accidentally created something that looks so deeply similar to a cultural mockery that y'all should accept that, and y'all should figure out a way to fix that with the community that you did that from.
I mean, it looks just like a pickaninny. I'm looking at pickaninnies. It looks just fucking like the shit.
It does.
The red mouth. Had they left I want to know what the fuck was the point of the red mouth. The red mouth is what really makes it very racist looking. Like, if they hadn't done the red shit around the mouth, I don't even think the outcry would have happened.
Well, let me add something to it. It very well could be somebody who is an alt-right, angry ass, old racist designer who knew that the people at the round table would not correlate that with pickaninnies, who would accept that design. I mean, that's a possibility, I think.
Yeah.
Just like when we were talking about that newspaper with Serena Williams, where he wrote her looking like a pickaninny, drew her looking like a pickaninny, and saying, oh, I didn't know. Maybe he did know, and maybe somebody did know. I'm just saying everybody around that round table, if that's the case, didn't know what was going on. Nobody looked at it in that regard. But it just
so
don't make
bad.
sense. It just seems like it do seem like too big of a coincidence though, because they could have used any other color lips.
And it
It
wouldn't have
wouldn't have
been
looked like a picnic. It wouldn't have been a problem if any other color lips. They use red.
and the lip part is so oversized. The way that they did Pickaninnies. If you go look up Pickaninny cartoons, it's these little black cartoon characters that they gave these gigantic lips, and they made the lips red. It looked just like it. Like, look at this shit. Why would you do that? If they had left that red off, this would not have happened. It just wouldn't have. The part that is really fucking them up is the red lips. I just, and listen, I ain't gonna sit up in that like I'm boycotting Gucci, because I don't own Gucci shit, never before. Even if I had money, I just don't. I'm not really one of them label kind of people, so I can't boycott some shit I ain't never owned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't watch the NFL, so I don't consider myself as boycotting the NFL. I just don't watch that shit. If you boycott the NFL, like that was never my thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not boycotting the NFL. I just never fuck with the NFL anyway. If you boycott the NFL, then I applaud you like a motherfucker. Because I don't know, as soon as Xbox do some old racist ass shit, and motherfuckers be like, boycott Xbox and the Xbox controller. No, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be a bad black person for a little while. I'm just gonna be a horrible black person until y'all get over that shit.
This shit just was it was just real crazy. Like, because I saw what everybody was talking about Gucci, and I was like, what they do? As soon as I saw that picture of that white girl in that sweat, I was like, oh, okay. Like, immediately I knew what it was. It was a Pickaninny. I didn't nobody have to tell me. I immediately knew why it was problematic. And we'll see how long, because you got the younger crowd and this whole Gucci gang and all of this shit. It'll be interesting to see how long, because Gucci is like huge in the black community among some folks. We'll just see how long this lasts, but I wasn't fucking with Gucci anyway, so for me it doesn't really change anything.
I just feel like the people that's listening to our podcast live in neighborhoods with shoes through around the power line. I just feel like the people that listening to our shit got pit bulls. Like, that's your dog of choice. You just want a pit bull because that's what they do in the hood. That's what I feel like our base is. I feel like our base like watermelon fried chicken and grape soda.
Yeah. Probably.
Those things are delicious.
They are delicious.
Red Kool-Aid. We already talked about that. I just feel like no Gucci.
No
Gucci. If you listening to this and you got some Gucci,
let us know. I would just be curious.
I want to know
how many people,
and I appreciate you for tuning in because apparently I think you're too good for our show.
Also, just let me quickly mention, I don't think we said anything about Tekashi 6ix9ine because I don't give a fuck about him, but apparently he cutting the deal and people are upset, but it's like, look at him. You really think he wasn't gonna snitch on these folks? Now everybody's saying, well, why would he not? His gang did him wrong and blah 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 blah. But look, street logic is you don't snitch, period. That's just what it is. It don't make no sense to me. I'm not of that way of thinking. I tell my friends all the time, don't do no shit in front of me. Because if they come asking me about it and I could potentially do some time behind some stupid shit you did, I'm snitching. I'm telling all
This is my
day.
thing. I think that, and Meek Mill came out pretty much like, even DJ Academics had a new song by 6ix9ine and another artist and was like, if I get so many likes, I'll release this track today. And Meek Mill was pretty much like, nah, that's dead. Don't quit disrespecting us because he's snitching now. He telling now, so quit disrespecting us. And I was like, I feel like anybody who think like Meek Mill has been deeply conned. Mm-hmm. If you live in a community that grew up that told you not to snitch, you were conditioned to allow the criminals in your neighborhood to get away with shit. And I don't think that's admirable. I think that's bullshit. Because the shit that we do in our community, the shit that those people do in our communities is a big part of why our communities have been destroyed. And the whole no snitching, you know, in Chris Rock show, Everybody Hates Chris. There's something, he had an episode about that. Basically, the police would come to the black community, get informants, and just because they didn't care about the black community, they would throw those informants right in there and they would be getting killed in the community. And people would know that they got killed because they were talking to the police. And so the community really just stopped telling because they didn't want to cooperate with police because it became a risk for them. You know what I'm saying? So at a certain point, they started building that into, it was no longer about just not cooperating with the police. It truly became a culture in which young black kids were conditioned that if they were snitching, it had something to do with loyalty to your community, loyalty to your friends, loyalty to the people around you, despite what they do. Like, it don't matter what they do. They ain't snitching. It don't matter. And the logic behind it is, we don't snitch, we handle this ourselves. So that's how you get these whole cycles of this family member got killed, so now we got to kill this person or the family member coming down. And then it goes back and forth because we don't get these systems involved that help resolve the problem so that it don't happen anymore. We just keep going an eye for an eye for an eye for an eye, back and forth over and over. So I don't know, man. I just don't like that no snitching shit. I work with kids and on my caseload who, if they get in trouble at school and it don't got nothing to do with them, or is somebody else involved that could shed more light on the situation, they will not let these administrators know what the fuck happening.
Nope, because they not gonna.
Period. And it's really garbage because you are willing to sacrifice your life for this fucking bullshit ass concept that protects somebody that don't even deserve to be protected. If I will protect you if you deserve to be protected, okay? I will not tell on you or not tell the truth or not be honest with somebody if you don't deserve to get whatever is coming to you. Like if some bullies run around and be like, hey, did you see a kid come around here? If it looked like a kid ran, I'll be like, I ain't seen no goddamn body. Shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But if you clearly, done shot some people, I'm calling the police, man. I really don't even, at this point, I really don't even give a fuck what happened to me, man. It'll be about my principle. I think it'll just be hard for me to live knowing that I didn't do something about some shit that I could have did something about.
Off of a dumbass principle.
I don't have that principle. Just don't do shit around me.
Well,
because I'm going to tell you, the day that I'm minding my own business and I see a nigga shoot somebody and then turn and look at me and I run and get away in my car, man, that's going to be one of the most roughest days. Because you know how that shit work in the movies. Niggas be looking for you for 5 years to kill your ass because you can testify against them.
Indeed.
I hate that shit.
Well, so it was that people were saying that, he was going to have to be a witness protection. And my whole thing was, how the fuck is he going to be in witness protection? Have you seen this nigga? What he look like? With all them tattoos all over his body? 6 9s everywhere. So, don't know how that's going to work out.
He had to put some makeup on his face.
Every day of his life?
Yeah, cut his hair bald headed.
Yeah, he would have to cut all that hair out, take them teeth out. They're colorful. Well, I guess no, because Lil Wayne, I don't know if his teeth are permanent. Them colorful grills, I don't know if they're permanent or not. But all of that shit will have to change. But people were talking shit about him, calling him Snitch 9 and all kind of bullshit. But I ain't never understood that. I'm not finna go get locked up behind some shit you did under this principle of I just ain't supposed to say nothing. That fucking shit is dead. Y'all are crazy. That don't make no sense to me. I would have been one of them people that was immediately dead because I'm telling. I'm sorry. If I didn't do anything, what do I look like serving 10 years for some shit I ain't even had nothing to do with, bruh? Not gonna happen. Sorry. Nope. Not doing it. All based off of the principle of, you just ain't supposed to tell. Fuck you. No. I'm not gonna waste my life behind some bullshit because you doing fuck shit. So just so I can be in prison talking about, yeah, I took the rap for my... No, nigga. No, I ain't taking the rap for nobody. Don't do nothing in front of me. I'm telling you. Do not do no illegal shit in front of me. I ain't gonna go out of my way. But if they come asking me about you, you going to jail. Sorry. That's just what it is.
That's what it is.
I will snitch all day. That's all I have for that.
Shad Moss.
Shad Moss.
Do y'all know who Shad Moss is?
Oh, poor Shad.
His name is also Little Bow Wow.
L's all day. He just take L's.
We always talk about Little Bow Wow. Little Bow Wow just need to go and rebrand himself. Go find a life somewhere else in a different country. Go to New Amsterdam. Go to Britain. Go somewhere else. Start a new life.
Oh.
Change your name. Start using your middle name. I don't know what your middle name is. Just start using that. Get you a regular job and just try to build from there, man. Because you're fucking up.
L.
So apparently, Lil Bow Wow and his girlfriend got into an altercation.
They had a DV situation.
That's domestic violence. So the first thing we got was a picture of them two, like mug shots, and we got him scratched the fuck up. Like it looked like he got attacked by X-23, goddamn Wolverine Light. She fucked him up, scratched him all up, and she didn't have no kind of bruises.
Pristine. Her
She
face
looked
anyway.
Her hair wasn't even ruffled. Like her hair wasn't ruffled at all. Now, this is where we got to talk about the double standard for domestic violence, because people were roasting Bow Wow. At the time, it's like, he the one that clearly done got mopped up. He is the one that got swept in this bitch. So we all making fun of him, joking on him, saying, damn, she don't even look bad. Like, it's crazy because if she had black eyes, we'd be canceling Shad Moss and all of this shit. This is a part of the dynamic where men don't come out about shit like this.
Yep.
Terry Crews, the motherfucker that came off of Me Too. This is why ain't nobody else finna do what Terry Crews did. The dude who grabbed Terry Crews' balls, he gonna grab other balls too. Because them men ain't gonna come out and say, this happened to me, because this is the culture we built. We gonna roast the man if we suspect that he been whipped up, but we don't do the same thing for women. Now, that's neither here nor there. That's the society we built. As men, we created these standards for ourselves, and toxic masculinity says that we can't accept being perceived as weak. So if we see Bow Wow as being weak, what we gonna do? Gonna laugh at his motherfucking ass, and that's what happened.
Thin line between love and hate. When she started going crazy on Martin Lawrence and he went to the police, they laughed at him.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't even take the report. Oh, she trying to kill you. Like they wouldn't even take him seriously.
Yeah.
And she almost killed his damn ass. And then
Yeah. So what came out next was an elevator video of Lil Bow Wow being very aggressive.
I would have whooped his ass too.
So in the elevator, she was standing there, and he kept trying to pull something out of her hand. I don't know what it was.
He finally got it out of her.
He was trying
hand.
to pull something out of her hand. He was in her face. It looked like he was saying basically, what you gonna do then? Fuck you gonna do then? What fuck you gonna do then? Like he was clearly going at her while she was trying her best, it seems, to ignore what he was doing.
The bodyguard even kind of pushed him back a little, like, dude, chill out,
And the next thing that came up was audio of the 911 call in which they heard Bow Wow say, I'm about to slap the fuck out this bitch. And at some point it escalated. But all those other events give more context to what happened, because it really makes Bow Wow seem like less of a victim and make her seem like the victim who was defending herself at that point, because
she had reached her. Look, it's a level. People will reach the end of their rope, and I think she just reached hers and then mollywopped him.
She was being as patient with him as humanly possible.
She was in the elevator, yeah. Cause it would have been a fight in the elevator. All of that shit he kept doing. Trying to take his little jacket off and stuff. First of all, you small as fuck. So what you taking your jacket off for? Like it wouldn't. Oh God, she did really good in the elevator. She didn't interact with him. She kept trying to just like avoid. He just was like this annoying little fucking. Bow Wow just take L's.
I just don't understand why he's so mad. What?
I think Bow Wow thought his life was going to be this, like, way bigger than what it is.
I think he still believes that his life is that.
He is very wrong.
I'm just saying, all the shit he be doing, I don't think he see this criticism and shit. You gotta remember, he was doing this since he was a little boy.
He was, but like I feel like to a level he knows, because the whole Bow Wow challenge happened because he was lying about flying for like on a private jet, because he knows that that's what he wants his life to be. Meanwhile, he on a commercial flying. So to an extent, I think he knows that he's not what he wanted or what he thought he was gonna be when he was little Bow Wow still and running around with Uncle Snoop and JD, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, he's still look at the little rapper." Oh my God. And then now he's a joke, and I think that's difficult for him to deal with, and so he's just angry. He's just angry because his life ain't what he wanted to be. I think he knows that it isn't. I think he tried to pretend like it is because he don't give a fuck, but I think the anger comes from the reality and his expectation. Expectation versus reality is way off for him. Way off.
I can see that.
That's what I see it as. I think he's just mad because his life, you know, given where he started out with him getting in the industry as young as he did, you know, he could have been like an Usher. You know, Usher until this herpes thing was doing just fine, and he had been in the industry from a very young age, and I think he thought he was gonna be like an Usher type success story, and no, it's not what happened. Not what happened. You know, Chris Brown got domestic violence, and he's known for being violent. He's still more successful than Bow Wow.
I mean, come on. That's because Chris Brown is Chris Brown, okay? Chris Brown is just good.
He is. And
Shad Moss, when he was at his peak, was still not better than worse Chris Brown.
No, he wasn't.
He was.
I mean, his whole thing was just that he was a cute little kid that could rap. Like, I mean, once he grew out of that, nobody cared. Like, nobody cared anymore.
Yeah.
It just, you know, didn't translate. He just, it's unfortunate. And speaking of Chris Brown, well, we didn't talk about 21 Savage. I guess we have to talk about how he blew everybody's mind because he's apparently originally from the UK. He came here when he was 7. ICE has arrested him and are holding him and talking about deporting him.
I think it was 12 or 14.
I keep seeing different age. First I saw 14, but then people was like, no, it was since he was 7. I don't know which one it was. I don't know when they came here, but
I feel like it was 14. He would have had a British accent. I don't feel like that's enough time in Atlanta to completely get rid of your British accent.
Do we know that he don't have a British accent? His mom still has an accent.
I guess maybe.
I mean, he could be like
Hugh Laurie, goddamn.
Exactly, because if you watch House,
if you watch House, you never know that he's British.
Yep.
Same thing with Idris Elba.
So
when he first started,
yeah,
he was just doing American shows. You did not know.
Nope.
Christian Bale, like there's a whole bunch of people who you don't know, and the way that Hugh Laurie identified it is how can y'all talk like us so well is because most of the shows they watch when they growing up is American shows.
Yep.
If we spent all our time when we were growing up watching British shows, we'll be able to talk like ourselves, but we'll be able to emulate British voices very well too.
Yeah. So everybody was just kind of like, what the fuck? Because I don't think anybody even knew that he was originally from the UK. I think everybody thought he was just Atlanta-based always. And so everybody was just kind of like, how random is this? That this is the start of Black History Month and 21 Savage is a Londoner. So then, of course, a bunch of memes started coming out and people was making fun of the fact that he, you know, pulled the wool over everybody's eyes, as it were. And so Chris Brown posted one of the memes. And Offset commented and was like, this ain't funny, or this, you know, this lame, or something to that effect. And Chris Brown has been going at him ever since he said that shit. To the point where Chris Brown, like, sent him messages, was like, nigga, here's my address. I'm going to be home at 4 o'clock. Just come on by so you can catch these hands. And it was such a random argument, or the two of them having some kind of beef is just random as shit. It's just, to me, just as random as 21 Savage being originally from the UK. But there was a video that somebody put out about how they need to solve it. And apparently somebody found a video of Offset when he was like a teenager doing the robot and then Chris Brown dancing. It's like, that is not a fair way to solve this, because Chris Brown will murder him. Dancing? I don't even know nobody that can beat Chris Brown in dancing. Like, I really don't. Like, say what you want about him, about who he is as a person. That nigga can dance his ass off.
He can dance.
And he like 6'4". Like, tall niggas usually are not able to be that much in control of their limbs.
Chris Brown dance? Have you ever seen a paper bag flowing in the wind?
Yeah.
That's how Chris Brown dance. It's like as soon as he start dancing, he just becomes one with all the molecules and shit that's in the atmosphere, and he can just start manipulating space and time around him. That's how he dances, okay? If you ain't seen Chris Brown dancing and shit, just go find some shit where Chris Brown is dancing in. He just dance.
It's effortless. Like, it's amazing. It is. It's
the way that you walk and you breathe and you fart, Chris Brown dance. That's how he dance. It's just, to him, this shit just seems second nature. That's what he do. Offset don't want that shit. Offset, get off of Twitter. You supposed to be trying to get your lady back. I don't think you're going to be able to get her back, but that don't mean you supposed to stop trying to get her back. Your ass don't got time to be commenting on Chris Brown, commenting on 21 Savage through memories.
No.
You ain't got time. You got other problems. Figure out your own infidelity.
It was just so random that, because, like, here's the thing. It was random for him to say that to Chris Brown. One, we all know Chris Brown got the temper like 0 to 1,000,000. Okay. So that's one. And two, everybody was posting these fucking memes. Like, everybody was so surprised. The only person that people got upset about making fun of, which I'm gonna discuss that, was Demi Lovato. And I just don't, everybody's saying that it's kind of like when, you make jokes about your brother, but if somebody else make jokes, you want to whoop their ass kind of thing. Like, he's ours, so we can do that, and because she's white, she can't. And then people start making fun of her sobriety and her substance abuse issue. And it was just like, really, man? Like, the fucking memes were hilarious.
It seems like I saw somebody break it down to where us joking about 21 Savage being British, well, everybody joking about 21 Savage being British, great. Demi Lovato joking about 21 Savage being deported, problem. Because that's what she was joking about, him being deported.
She just said the comment that I saw, she said the best part about the Super Bowl weekend was the 21 Savage memes.
That's all she said? It's had to be something else.
Now, I think when people started giving her shit, she might have said some more stuff. But the original thing that people started getting angry at her about was her saying that the best part of the Super Bowl weekend, or the Super Bowl, was 21 Savage.
Well, I guess they came out talking shit about, because she didn't discern which one of that it was, I guess.
That it was about him being deported, or him being British.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's where the criticism came from, but I
mean, talking about her sobriety, because who was it that was like, we laugh at crackheads and where I'm from, was it Boosit? Somebody said that shit, and I was like, substance abuse is not funny, and I get y'all upset at her, but for you to go to that is just,
I don't know why people, like, ain't nothing off limits.
Apparently
nothing is off limits, and this is how it happens.
It just wasn't that deep to me, like her saying, again, because I saw the comment that I saw was the comment that I said, and I was like, y'all really that us? Like, the memes were hilarious. Like, they had somebody like dub over one of his songs, and they were rapping it with a British accent. Like, this shit was hilarious. Some of these memes, I was crying, laughing. Like, I really was. It was so funny. So I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know where that is right now with him as far as his deportation. I don't know. Are you looking up the original tweet?
I was trying to. Yeah, Wale said, well, I guess Wale brought it up. Why is somebody freedom funny? I don't get the joke.
But what she said was the memes were funny.
Well, but what I'm saying is she didn't dispute that when Wale said it. She could have said, I wasn't talking about his freedom, I was talking about British.
Okay.
And she said, Wale just salty. I never replied to his desperate tweet years ago.
And then he said that when he also sent her messages when she was in wishing her well. And
he said, still ain't gonna disrespect you, still praying for you, Demi. Glad you seen my old tweets. Hopefully you seen the ones providing comfort and prayer when you were down. I don't kick people when they're down. Go Queen. So the fact that she didn't come out, yeah, that was good for him. But the fact that she didn't come out and say, whoa, I ain't talking nothing about his freedom. These were just the British memes.
About him being British.
Because to me, it's extremely hypocritical if we're going to talk about him being British. But if you think back to the memes, all of it was just about him being British.
Yeah.
None of it was about the deportation shit. Ain't nobody been joking about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And clearly some people like Wale, it's going to be more, serious to them because this somebody they probably collaborate with, one of their people.
I don't think I saw any deportation memes.
And so joking on him bringing British and the deportation, all of that's going to be to go together in one package for some people. But
I feel like people took it way too far when it came to her. And I think it's because nobody else other than Offset saying something to Chris Brown, it was a lot of people making fun of this whole situation. And I think that if she had not been white, nobody would have got as upset as they did. And I don't think she meant it. I think she was laughing in the same way the rest of us were laughing at the memes because they were fucking hilarious. But this is my I'm on 95.7 Jams every first, third, and fifth Sunday night at 9:00. If y'all want to check that out, Central Time. If y'all want to check that out at any point in time. But we talked about this on the radio, and I was like, I wonder how much of what happened with 21 Savage, because this was ICE that did this. I wonder how much overlap is Donald Trump's rhetoric to this, because we've been criticizing ICE heavily for only focusing on the southern border. We've been criticizing Donald Trump for only focusing on the southern border. We talk about, the northern border. More immigrants come from the northern border than the southern border. We keep talking about that. And we keep talking about how people who, the only people who they focusing on with expired visas are the people that are brown. It's crazy that they found 21 Savage because 21 Savage has been arrested. 21 Savage has been tried for felonies. Yep. He's had things happen that if his visa expired a year after he came here, whether it was 7, whether it was 12, whether it was 14, things in his adult life have happened to which people should have known that he was here illegally. Got kids.
But only in the last 2 years where Donald Trump has this rhetoric has that became a thing. And it really makes me paranoid because they still found a black person who has an expired visa and they're looking at deporting that person. You can't tell me it ain't no white people over here with no goddamn expired visas. You can't tell me. But they looking for the 21 Savages. This goes into the subjective nature of ICE's way of investigating and how they act on deportation. It's very subjective. That's why people are saying we need to abolish ICE. The reality is we probably need to fix the system because I'm sure it's an important function.
It is. They want to be able to abolish ICE, but they need to go in and do some restructuring and fix some of the broken shit within it. Because this just took everybody. Like I saw it and I was like, I thought it was like a Saturday Night Live skit or some shit. Like, because it just 21 Savage is British. The fuck? Like, it was so random that I just thought it was a joke. I thought that people were joking about it for some weird reason, but I just could not see that being rooted in reality because it was so random. So random. That this
crazy,
is when they.
Man. I just wonder what the overlap is.
I don't
and
know.
I wonder if we're gonna see any white people, anybody from the Netherlands or Iceland or wherever else motherfucker come over here that got white skin and get visas, and they expire. I just wonder.
Jennifer Lopez is gonna perform a Motown tribute at the Grammys.
Okay.
Jennifer Lopez gonna do Motown. Her voice is shit. It's always been shit. She's pretty and she can dance, but she cannot sing. And she did a good job as Selena. I will give her that. But like
at what show?
The when she played Selena.
I mean, at what show?
Grammys.
At the Grammys, they couldn't get nobody to do it.
But they got also at the Grammys for the Aretha Franklin tribute. It's going to be Yolanda Adams, Fantasia, and Andre Day, which I think is going to be amazing.
Who was Andre Day?
That she sung that song "Rise Up" and we'll rise up,
Oh,
rise like the day. Mm-hmm.
Those are like fourth, fifth choices.
Oh, don't do that to Fantasia.
She is. She is for mainstream, for the Grammys.
Yeah.
For mainstream white America. Fantasia ain't out there. You heard her music?
I know, but she can really sing.
Her music is legitimately for hood
I
rats.
feel like Fantasia just can't get no respect. But I think they're going to do an amazing job. Better than fucking Jennifer Lopez for a
Well, this is what all I'm saying is.
Voice-wise,
so you got Aretha Franklin tribute.
Yes.
First off, Yolanda Adams, she's gospel singer. The gospel people never boycott shit. She was coming anyway. Fantasia, which is hood rat queen, and the other person you
Andre
named, which
Day.
you clearly knew into the music industry.
Yeah.
You know,
Rise
knew
Up.
enough that
Yeah.
the Grammys would not be something she turned away. You know, sometimes you just got to be a bad black person.
And she's not that big of a star, unfortunately, because she only had that one. I don't think she's put out an album since that album with
She
the
ain't
head
got
Rise
to.
Up.
Because as long as people keep singing that damn shit on American Idol and people keep downloading it, because that shit been all on America's Got Talent,
It has.
American Idol.
Everybody sings that song. Yeah.
They be singing the fuck
her
out that song.
album. It's what was the name of that album? Forget.
Magical Unicorn.
It was not
Love.
Magical. No.
That's the name of my Wi-Fi, by the way,
Cheers
y'all.
to the Fall. I hate you so much. Cheers to the Fall was
My
the name of
Wi-Fi is
it.
Magical Unicorn Love.
The first time I came over here and asked him about connecting to his Wi-Fi, he told me that shit. I was like, of course it is. That makes perfect sense. Sure it is.
Okay, so we got that.
Yes.
Then for the Motown, ain't no black people coming to the Grammys.
But Jennifer
Kendrick Lamar
Lopez.
turned it down. Childish Gambino turned it down. Like, everybody's turning it down. They having to go outside of the black community now.
It ain't even about going. It ain't the fact that she's not black. It's the fact that she can't fucking sing.
Well, you know what? The Grammys don't give a fuck. They can't get no black people. They need somebody that's popular as fuck. You know what?
That's gonna be ass.
Any white people seen Made in Manhattan? If you seen that, you gonna connect with Jennifer Lopez. Seen any a number of her 5 or 6 romantic comedies, rom-coms? Oh, the old white ladies are gonna love seeing Jennifer Lopez.
Her voice is so terrible though. She cannot sing. She just can't. She can't. Selena is the thing that got her into singing, and she did a very good job as Selena in that biopic. But like Jennifer Lopez cannot fucking sing. She just can't. She can't act either. She's just pretty. She's pretty, and she was a fly girl in Living Color.
I could sing, and I couldn't act, and I can convince the motherfuckers around me to give me the money to do the shit. Then I would do the shit with a fucking smile on my face every single goddamn chance I got.
She is.
I
she
ain't
is.
hating on Jennifer Lopez, but I don't give a fuck about Jennifer Lopez also.
I just think her doing Motown is just gonna be tragic because it has nothing to do with her not being black doing Motown, because there are other non-black singers who could sing it and it'd be just fine. It's the fact that she can't fucking hold a tune. So like, I don't know what Motown song she's gonna be singing, but Motown is it's the Temptation. It's, people that could sing. She can't. So I just don't know what the fuck that's gonna look like. But all right, Jennifer, go
even
go
talking
off.
about the right system. Grammys. What about the Grammys that they did to black people? Because it was Oscar so white. What's the Grammys?
Grammys is the music one, but they just they
Ain't no issue with the Grammys.
well they
are
the choices, the winners.
They whitewash a lot of categories.
They do.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like they could have got somebody better than her. Maybe not. I don't fucking know.
They could have.
But yeah, I think that's. I don't know that I have anything else.
What else you got?
Tyra Banks is gonna open her own theme park called Model Land. Who the fuck want to go to that, Tyra? What? A theme park based off of modeling? Girl, bye. You just want to waste some money.
No idea.
Nobody's gonna go to that.
Somebody will.
It ain't gonna be enough people to keep it afloat.
It won't be. This will be her Never Never Land.
Model Land? The fuck out of here. I keep putting this in my thing and then I kept getting talked about it and then it's progressed on. So AJ, you remember Free and AJ? Yes, 106 in Park, old school. He has been accused of some sexual misconduct and now he's been suspended from Extra because of those allegations. I kept intending to come up to bring it up, but then we would run out of time and I would just never bring it up. But he's part of, he been out here doing bullshit.
Did they say what he done?
The original story did, but I don't, because I kept putting in the updated things. So,
the worst part about this to me is that there's so many things that men would have done to women that they will have forgot about just because of how little they value the women that they did those things to. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe that a lot of men probably don't believe they did that shit, but I believe the women who said they did it.
Yeah, well, this was some recent shit AJ did.
Oh, this was recent.
Mm-hmm.
This one old.
Several women have come forward accusing him of sexual misconduct. The initial accusations came out months ago, but it seems Warner Brothers Television has officially decided to suspend AJ while they continue their investigation.
Damn.
So, yeah, I can't remember what I think it was women that worked under him or worked for him that he was doing it with. But yeah, so AJ from Free and AJ out here, Me Too and folks.
It's ridiculous, man.
It is.
It's just not hard to keep your hands to your damn self and your
Men act like
sexual ideas that women don't want to participate in.
Also, teenager faked his own kidnapping to get $130 from his mom.
$130? That nigga just stole that shit.
I don't know what he needed it for. And he was 19. 19-year-old Emmanuel Franklin tried to make his mother believe that he would be killed by the kidnappers unless she put $130 in a mailbox. His mother told deputies that a private number called her phone. When she answered, an unknown male voice demanded that she take $130 and drop it off in a mailbox on Bagnell Drive in Sumter, South Carolina, the street his father lives on. We hear that Emmanuel later admitted to his mother that he made the whole thing up for the money. I don't know.
Did she take the $130 over there?
I don't know.
She's stupid as he is. If that's the case.
Who kidnapped somebody for just $130? The trouble that you go to in kidnapping somebody is not worth $130.
That's stupid, man.
Oh, Jesus. I think that's it. That's all I had. I'm sorry. One more. Christoph St. John. All of the older people or people that grew up with older people know who he is. He was on The Young and the Restless. Died at the age of 52 this week. They think it was alcohol. He apparently had a alcohol problem.
Yeah, he lost his son to suicide. And since then, he's had a serious alcohol problem. And now there's a big call for support for survivors of suicide. Because people who survive suicide, man, are left with so much pain that they don't know what to do with it, especially when it's a child that you lost to suicide. That shit's got to be heavy, man.
But he was on Young and the Restless forever. He was a very popular character. Anybody that watched, that had grandmas that were my shows coming on, probably was watching him when he was on Young and the Restless. He was a very popular character on that particular soap opera. So, thoughts out to his family. That has to be hard. Lost a son, now they done lost him.
That's unfortunate. I was going to talk about a Kansas judge that calls these girls aggressors in a sexual abuse case. They were 13 and 14. He basically gave this 67-year-old man less time because he said that the girls went to his house voluntarily and had taken money for sexual favors.
13 and 12? 13 and 14?
13 and 14.
They're not responsible because he has the... First of all, let me just say, y'all, if you look this story up, because he didn't prepare me, be prepared. He looked like grits.
His name is Raymond Sodden.
Oh, he looks so... Oh, stop. Just scroll down.
He looked like Metamucil. He looked like wheat germ.
He the whitest, pastiest.
He looks so nasty.
He looks so disgusting. But the fact that this judge says that because the girls were going there accepting money, they are 12 and fucking 13. He was 67. The responsibility falls on him, not them children. There is a reason why there is a age limit of consent. What the fuck? Really, judge? You let this Metamucil looking motherfucker out here get less time because you think the girls had a hand in it? I just do not understand this concept that men are just not in control of themselves. It's because somebody offers something to you. Oh, I gotta take it. She offering it to me. Yeah, she 12, but what the fuck is that? Yeah.
It's so stupid, man. That just goes back to how subjective the court system is. Like, there's nothing a child can do that makes them an adult.
Nope.
And they're making it seem like what they're due is the reason by which he decided to look at them like adults in that case. And this is like the reason that we don't look at children and their decisions properly is because we know that they don't have the minds developed enough to make proper decisions all the time. And the fact that he is looking at these two young girls and putting blame on them for their own abuse, that's the kind of subjectivity that allow a motherfucker to rape somebody behind a trash dumpster and get 2 months in jail and get out and have their freedom back. It's garbage as fuck.
I don't understand. It just doesn't make any sense. It's so disappointing. And, I guess he just don't have no responsibility to himself. I wish a little 12-year-old boy would come up trying to talk. This fuck, go where your mama at? Matter of fact, let's both go find your mama, so I can have a conversation with her about what you out here doing. Like, I just don't understand. Like, at no point would I be like, well, he chasing after me. So what? The fuck? No. It's fucking weird. People. Oh God. The world we live in.
And the last one is Alabama denies a Muslim inmate an Iman, IMAN present at execution. They allow, so you can have your spiritual leader of your choice.
Yeah.
On paper. On paper in America, we have freedom of religion.
But in practice.
But the reality is the chaplain is a paid member at the prison when they do this. So this system favors Christian inmates. Now, we can have a conversation about he did some horrible things, and so he shouldn't even have Christian representation. Then we need to believe that about everybody, or he don't deserve the representation that he desires based on his faith. We can have that conversation.
Take that out. Don't put that on paper.
Take that away from everybody. Take that away from every fucking body. If we're going to look at the bad shit that people do and say that they shouldn't be able to have what the law says that they have, take that shit out of the law or follow the law. Don't sit here and allow a system to be created that disproportionately treats Muslim inmates different than Christian inmates. Now, my dialogue is we shouldn't be killing no fucking body because the system is very subjective. And if you look at the history of how many death penalties have been sought for people, it disproportionately is sought for African American people. It's too objective on the case of a jury. It's too objective on the case of overzealous prosecutors looking to enact the death penalty on people that do shit.
It's still just too subjective. Pedophile Island.
No,
Murder Island.
Nobody.
You'd be alive. You wouldn't be dead.
But this is the thing. Out of the case of fairness, if any pedophile, if every pedophile is going to be on trial to determine whether they're going to go to Pedophile Island or not, I'd rather it not be subjective enough that Pedophile Island be full of black pedophiles and there's white pedophiles still over here. I'm just saying the overarching system is such a problem that we can't have a system like that unless everybody go or nobody go, or we get a better system of determining who go and why. Because like I said, them overzealous prosecutors, they just, because of how our country feel about black people are inherently more violent, and a lot of court systems think that the death penalty for black people is more appropriate. And so does a lot of juries, and so does a lot of judges, as evidenced by the history of the death penalty execution rates. So Alabama ain't the role model for the world.
Oh, hey,
okay, Alabama ain't no role model. Nope. Alabama just gonna do what it's gonna do. But the same people who say they believe in the rule of law, when it comes to shit like a black person should have been obeying the law if they didn't want this police officer to do that, or the same motherfuckers that's saying, I don't care about what the law says. He shouldn't have killed people. He shouldn't even be able to have a spiritual advisor. Well, it's in the law, you crazy, stupid bitch. I'm sorry. This story really frustrated me because to me, it's just another black man. It's another brown person who is getting treated different than his white counterparts, even though the counterparts are fucking death row inmates. I mean, it's crazy how all the places that you find that disproportionate treatment of different groups. But that's all I got. Alrighty. You got something else on your mind?
I do not.
Hopefully the next time you hear us, Colin will be with us on the show.
Yay.
So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
I know I've never talked to him, so not verbally talk to him. So
after that, Michael is going to be on the show, and after that, I got to talk to Miss Twisted Tresses, and hopefully early in March, we can have her being a part of this conversation. So that's it for you.
That's it.
All right. Well, until we come to the next conversation,
we out.
Holla.